Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for joining us. Hope your Saturday is starting off well. It's Saturday, January 10th. Can you believe it? January 10th, 2026. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're here every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., wherever you're catching us on social media. Thank you so much. We're grateful for you watching and commenting. You got questions, comments, thoughts. This show's hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Bank, Scott Wolmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill, the Minnesota Real Estate Team. Guys, good morning to you.
Morning, Ryan.
Scott, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan says, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're live downtown Minneapolis. We're going to go live here in just a second. We are going to talk about how should I say this? How your inability to choose a mate is affecting the real estate market. Your inability to date a person that you're going to stay with, how that is affecting the real estate market, and it's real.
Interesting. Mike, you got big interest rate news this week.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but we are going to talk about that when we go live on air.
Here we go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope your weekend's starting off well. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. Hope your Saturday is starting off well. Saturday, January 10th, 2026. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mr. Mike Overson of Luminate Bank, right in the Twin Cities here. Scott Wolmering and myself, Ryan O'Neill, of the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. This is a live show. It's local and it's interactive. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us at any point with your questions, comments, thoughts. We have a lot to talk about here today, interest rate wise, a unique show topic as well. But again, interrupt us at any point. You certainly won't hurt our feelings. And we love your questions, comments, thoughts. Scott, good morning to you, buddy.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you've not caught us before, like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're live downtown Minneapolis every Saturday morning, and we're going to talk everything real estate related. The show topic, like Ryan said, is a little quirky one, but we're going to talk about how your dating life or your inability to find a mate has changed that has really affected the real estate market. And we're going to go through what that means and how it's affected it during the show. But so how does your inability to be able to choose a mate, the length of time it makes you to choose a mate, affect your ability to buy real estate? And that's our show topic.
Yeah, very interesting. Mike Overson, Luminate Bank. We got to dive in. This was a huge, President Trump came out with some news this week. What happened in the mortgage world?
Well, if you've listened to our show for the last several months, Scott and I always talk about the one thing that can change mortgage interest rates that will directly impact mortgage rates is that if the government steps in and starts buying mortgage-backed securities.
I think we said 3 weeks ago that God himself cannot affect the real estate market. He can't change interest rates. He can't make the home prices come down. But this is the only thing that could artificially do it. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, Mike sent me a text. He's like, here we go, dude. It is.
Said you better lace them up tight. Said lace them up tight because this spring is going to get crazy. So President Trump went out there and said he is keeping his promise of addressing the housing market and affordability, and he's doing that by pumping $200 billion worth of money into the mortgage-backed securities market, meaning that the government's going to purchase $200 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities over the next 12 months or 24 months, something like that, right? So what does that do? Think it's just really supply and demand, right? So you're increasing the supply of money that's out there is really what they're doing. They're pumping money into the mortgage-backed securities market. You're increasing the supply. What happens when you increase supply? Prices come down. So therefore, the price of money, your mortgage interest rate is coming down. And we've already seen it. It's already down 1/8 to 1/4 since late Thursday. And I'm very curious to see, I guess, how far it goes down and how quickly it goes down. That's to be determined yet.
What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I made a lot of phone calls over the weekend after I got the email from Mike, because positioning yourself with this coming is extremely important. So if you're listening and you are in a situation where you're thinking about selling and buying this year, you really do want to reach out to us or your agent. Or if you're a first-time home buyer with minimum down and you're looking to get into the real estate market, really do need to reach out, because positioning yourself is important because two things will happen here. I'm just going to use weird numbers. So let's say rates drop from 6% to 4%. That's not what I'm saying is going to happen. I'm just saying let's get goofy and they drop to 4%. Well, that's awesome. Affordability goes through the roof. Everybody can afford it. The problem is the counteractive measure of that is that a house that's $300,000 right now goes to $325,000 or $330,000 because it's still affordable at $330,000. You're not going to eat it up completely and go to $370,000 because that's a wash. But you will end up paying more for a house because the affordability is there. So that's what I think is going to happen. So how do you position yourself to be on the right side of that, where you're selling your house, you're maxing out what you can get for your house, but you're not buying into a market that is artificially propped up? Those are things that you'll need to navigate with your agent.
Yeah, again, we're going to, we welcome your questions, comments, thoughts, 612-294-6949. Again, we are live here at WCCO every Saturday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show. It's a show that our team, the Minnesota Real Estate team, puts on. The goal of our show is just to provide good information, have a little fun in the process, but just help you and your families make good decisions buying, selling, investing in real estate. So, Mike, what are the current rates right now?
Earlier this week, I was locking a lot of people, your standard conventional loans, top tier credit, this and that. A lot of them are getting locked in at like 6.125-ish, maybe a little bit lower for certain cases. When I was running numbers yesterday, which was just Friday, a lot of those people were dropping down to 5.99. So 6 1/8 down to 5.99, where most of those people that were at, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? It literally just came out late Thursday
That he's doing it.
Right? And so it's new. The market was actually kind of bouncing around a lot yesterday, trying to figure out, what's going to happen with this. And that's normal, right? You get big news like this, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down a little bit. But overall, rates are going to be dropping here. Again, I don't think the bottom is going to fall out just yet, meaning that I don't think we're going to see 4s anytime soon still. But will rates be coming down into the high 5s to the mid 5s, probably to the low 5s? Yeah. I could certainly see that happening.
Yeah, we're already up against our first break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. After the break, we're going to touch on a real estate update for you, as well as invite on our friend, Mr. Brad Sanford, outstanding insurance agent, longtime partner of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Feel free to, again, join us at any point. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, Brad. Thanks for being here, bud.
Yeah, bring me in with all this good news, and all I have is bad news. Thanks, guys.
Again, this is Brad Sanford with Farmers Insurance, longtime partner, very knowledgeable. Encourage fellow agents, customers watching, be sure to reach out to Brad. Insurance has kind of upended our market a little bit the last couple of years, guys.
Oh God, we could do hours of shows on insurance.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's such a thrilling topic. We should have an insurance show and an accounting show.
Yeah.
At the same time. Oh my gosh. Well, you'd have to
buckle me down.
Yes.
You'd have to.
I'm not
Do
sure
you know how naive I was the first time that I came on with you guys?
Yes.
I said I was going to make insurance sexy.
Yes.
About the third show, it was like, no, you can't make it.
Yeah. It's just.
Well, you've come pretty close through the years. Hey, Jennifer Thompson, my second ex-wife's listening to the show and watching it on Facebook. So welcome, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. New construction. Doing some new construction in the market. We've actually seen the last couple of years, Scott, would you say, hasn't new construction been a little better?
Yeah, Jen sells with Country Joe in Lakeville primarily, and they're killing it right now. And I think that, again, has to do with regulations are being removed. Builders are getting excited again to actually put product out there. So if you remove the regulations, you make it a little bit more affordable to build a house. They're not going to be as expensive when you sell them. So they're doing great. And I've said it a zillion times. Country Joe is my top 5 mid-sized builder in the cities. They are great, and they're all over Lakeville.
It's always hard to stand next to Mike. I love it. You look on
Gravity.
I'm like, God, look at Mike.
Well,
I mean, he's just,
gravity does the work.
I need
understand.
to go. Actually, I
Why
drove
it's so
by
hard
this
to
morning. I was up
stand.
early. I went to, what is the place? I'm super impressed with. There's always like 30 people in there, and they're doing like heavy lunges and kicks and boxing. What is the club?
Farrell's?
What is it?
Farrell's?
Maybe it's Farrell's. I'm like, I'm like, good for these people. It's like
Starbucks.
7:15 in the morning, and they're just
that's where-
hammering
well,
away.
And Mike knows that. That's where you know you feel like a loser when you go into the gym at 7 to work out, and half of the club is emptying out in their suits already, hair's wet. They're leaving, going to their car, which means they got there about 5:15.
Well, everybody's day starts at a different time, right?
Let's start a new place. Let's call it the Oversons. We'll all meet at his place.
Yeah.
6 in the morning.
10:30 in the morning.
Oh, 10:30.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you all
Gonna
for the
start a new
nice
trend.
comments.
We're all gonna get good sleep.
Yeah, Jennifer Ritzman, thank you. Awesome agent on the team. Appreciate you as well. Says, good morning, guys. Big news today, she said. Big news today. Oh,
But we just covered the big news.
yeah, maybe you're okay. We're going back live on air here. I better pay attention. Here we go. Welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. Hey, I just saw a nice comment on social media from a couple folks I just wanted to mention. First, Jennifer Ritzman. She's been a longtime agent on the Minnesota real estate team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Just a great agent, very knowledgeable. Her son, her dear son, Carl, is an agent on the team too. Just great people, wonderful people. And then I wanted to mention as well, every year in the, it's kind of like the Oscars of for real estate agents. Well, there's this organization locally that's called Real Producers. And my good buddy, my dear friend, Mr. Eric Mullenberg, who I also saw a note, he's up for Broker of the Year. And so very well deserved. He has worked tirelessly in this business for a long time, just a wonderful human being. So Eric, you should win, Mr. Mullenberg, for Broker of the Year there, Scott.
Yep, and best looking broker over the age of 55. I think he wins that every year.
You know, it's funny. I've mentioned this, but just briefly, you know, when I first started with Eric, he was single, and it's kind of like when you're the wingman of the guy that's really good looking that everybody wants to talk to, they'd always say, well, you know, who's that guy? Who's Eric? And so I have a little, a little thing to do with the introduction to his wife, Charity, as well.
Well, you know what I used to always say when Eric and I would go, hey, who's your friend? I said, he's just going to meet his partner, Bob, in the back. I said, I don't know. I said, have you never met Bob before? That's what you do.
Mr. Wolmering.
That way, that gets him off the table.
Gets him
Off the table.
Gets them up. No, but thanks for joining us, everybody. We do appreciate it. A lot going on. Again, we talked about mortgage rates, interest, or inventory numbers. Let's just share some quick stats for you. New listings in the Twin Cities down 22%. Only 267 new homes came on the market. Pending sales or accepted offers down 12% to 376. The inventory super low. Again, under 8,000 homes for sale in the Twin Cities, 7,964. Scott, with this initiative by Trump, under 8,000 homes on the market, it is going to be a busy 2026.
Oh, buckle up, guys. I mean, and we've said this. We said if, we were under 10,000 homes in December, which we were, that basically trends into about 6,500 to 7,500 at the beginning of February. Without the interest rate announcement that we're going to be buying mortgage-backed securities and driving rates now, it would have been a gong show. Now it is going to be insane. So again, positioning yourself. When do you buy so you are getting the interest rate, but you're not paying the maximum price? Do you buy now when they're at 6? So you get the lower price and then you refinance in 3 months when they drop. That's what I've been advising my people. Get in now. You know the number now. You don't know what you're going to pay for this thing in 3 months.
Hey, I just wanted to mention Micah Lee Jenkins just commented it as well, saying that, Ryan, I heard you are the matchmaker. What about my son, Nick? You watch out, Micah Lee. Now that I know that, I may do some work here. But Scott, I heard the show last week was awesome, you guys. Micah Lee
did. She is an old pro. It would be whenever you're not here, Micah Lee is always welcome to come back. She did an awesome job. Well, it's nice to have someone that does the kind of business that she does.
Yeah, a lot of business.
Been doing it for a long time. she has a softer perspective than maybe me, or well, she probably has the same kind of perspective as you. But it was great to have Michael Leon. She did a good job.
Mike, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I love having Michael Leon. She's seen it all,
Yes.
just like Scott has, right? She's seen it all. She's got experience pretty much in every facet of real estate. And it's like whatever situation comes up, she's probably seen it before. She can help out and, share her experience with it.
Yeah, don't hesitate to interrupt us. Again, 612-294-6949 is how you can reach us here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're going to be diving in again with Brad Sanford of Farmers Insurance. Each week we have one of our longtime preferred partners join us to share different kind of thoughts and expertise. And so, Scott, sort of diving in, we talked about the average first-time homebuyer age now is getting close to 40 years old. That has changed a lot in the 20 plus years I've been doing this, you even longer.
15 years ago, the average age was 24. Now it's 38.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about that on the show and what's driving that. And as Ryan knows, I'm kind of a I don't know what you call it. I'm fascinated by relationships, why people get into relationships, why they don't, what drives them, what does not. And so I follow a bunch of different guys that talk about this. Well, one of the most important things that's come out on dating, which is now online, which it wasn't 30 years ago. Dating online right now, 77% of women, their criteria is a man that's 6 feet or taller and makes $150,000 a year or more. So that's 1.5% of the population. Well, therein lies the problem. So if you go back to 1985, the 82% or something right around that number, 82% of people were married before the age of 40. Now, 35% of people have never been married by 40 years old. Well, that's the problem. You can't afford a house in this market without dual incomes.
Yeah.
It's so much more expensive to do it because we've been trying to figure out, God, what is driving this? Why is there this all of a sudden this big gap of home ownership? It can't just be affordability. It's the combination of we are getting too picky with what we want. Again, if you're a person out there that wants a guy that looks like Mike, that's 6 foot tall and makes 150 grand or whatever a year. So
we want Mike.
That's 1.5% of the population. If you want to float over to the Wolverine window, we're like 99.9% of the population. You can get us all day long. But if you're looking for Mike, you can't really get that. So the problem is that's what women are holding out for. And then you throw on top, I could do shows on this for months, but that's the nutshell point of it. We're getting married later. We're more particular with who we will marry, which is shrinking.
It's probably both sides of the coin, both
Yes.
men and women, just being more picky. But it's a really interesting point. You think about that because it is for one income right now with as expensive as life is, we all know it's very, very hard, Mike, to even consider buying real estate right now as a single person. It's why a lot of folks, are living longer with mom and dad if they can, if they have a parent that they're able to live with. I don't know. What do you think?
So first-time home buyers, if we look at that sector, what coming out of college, the income that you can make coming out of college right now, how does that relate now? So the price of the homes now and what you make coming out of college now versus the price of homes 25 years ago and what you made coming out of college 25 years ago.
I did a show on this a year ago, and I'm going to butcher the numbers, but you'll get the gist of it. So in 1999, the average income coming out of college, again, these might be off a little bit because it's been a while since I've done it, but was like $52,000. So you came out of college in 1999, and your entry level career out of college was 52 grand. Now I think it's 58. In 1999, the average home sale was $94,000. Now it's 410. These are national. Average car then was 6,800. Now it's 40,000. You can go down the list. So basically, since 1999, we really haven't had a raise.
Yeah.
We're making the same money, but we're talking about 300-400% more in what things cost.
Hey, Brad, Sanford Farmers Insurance, you've been waiting so patiently. I know we're going to have your segment. What do you think about this all, Brad, as you hear this, as a buyer or seller of real estate, what you've experienced? What are you and your family feeling, friends feeling?
Well, I think you two, you and Mike, didn't think we knew the definition of Panagia. I think he just explained it for you. But real estate, he's absolutely correct. The first home I bought, I think, was like $114,000, and Now the homes right now average 410. It is yeah. And my oldest and I, Emily, we have this conversation all the time, and she's like, how do we make homes affordable? How do we get more income? And the rub on that is if we keep increasing incomes 2.5% every year, you know, in a few years we're all doubling our income, and can the consumers afford that? It's, you know, we got to figure it out somehow, right?
Well, and unfortunately, and don't misunderstand me, this is not looming, this is not coming. But at some point, what goes up must come down. And if we've not had a raise really since 1999, we cannot have prices continue to go up at 6-7% a year, because it will become unaffordable. And so eventually, in 2008 is going to rear its head. We're going to have a resetting. And again, we're not on that bubble. It's not even close. But at some point, 5, 10 years, 15 years, at some point, there will be a reset, or else you're going to be paying $1.5 million for a 1,000 square foot box Rambler in Apple Valley. Can't do that.
Well, in a lot of areas, that's what's happening.
Correct.
In different parts of the country. That's what's happening. Hey, before the break, I just wanted to mention again, before we dive in with Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance, every week we like to do a minute of hope by the O'Neill Foundation of Hope. And this week, I want to share a story with you briefly. Our dear friend Scott, he's facing one of the toughest battles of his life after a devastating cancer diagnosis. He's a hardworking young professional. He's been forced to step away from work, and he's enduring an incredibly intense treatment plan. He's navigating days filled with sickness, exhaustion, and perhaps most difficult of all, learning to lean on the kindness of others. When illness strikes, life, as we know, however, doesn't slow down. Bills don't stop. The stress can easily overwhelm even the strongest of us. Thanks to you all and your continued generosity, we helped Scott with his auto insurance, utility bill, and get his snow tires put on for him. Just some small things, a small way to remind him that his community truly cares. If you can, please join us in supporting Scott and others like him. And again, to nominate anyone you know experiencing hardships, you can go to o'neillhope.org and see our Get Help button. Anybody at all. Again, we're having even some other organizations reach out to us, nominating people, St. Vincent de Paul and others. So thank you all for your support. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've talked about it a ton on the show, but if you are a giving person and you're looking for a place to give, it does not get better than the O'Neill Foundation. I've been able to, obviously because of my relationship with Ryan, just watch the families on a weekly basis get helped, and it's awesome to be around it. So if you want to put your money somewhere to help, this is definitely a place you can help.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Got to give a nice shout out to Ryan Perpich. Ryan deals with us every Saturday morning. This guy, I tell you, who's ever listening, the powers that be, he deserves a raise, doesn't he, Mike?
He does deserve a raise, and he's the only other guy in this room that knows what Pangea is too. So that's even makes him more impressive.
Let's get to Pangea in the next segment here. I need some real estate on Pangea.
Right. We love Rye. Thanks for dealing with us. Hey, we're at the halfway point of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're diving in with Brad right after the break. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show.
So, you know, they floated the idea of a 50-year mortgage. Does that help or hurt?
It doesn't. It changes your payment by such a small amount and adds hundreds of thousands of dollars to what
I ran the numbers on it.
50-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a $400,000 loan, it only lowers your payment by about $170.
Oh.
But you pay double the interest basically over the life of the loan. So
Well-
if you take a $400,000 loan out, you'll pay $973,000 in interest, just in interest on top of what you got to pay back. For
But your
principal.
point always over the years is most people stay in their homes how long? 5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
And so that whole interest variable doesn't come into play. So it's an affordability thing.
So you'd be better off going interest only, because we also played around with
Yes.
interest only. So if you do the same thing but go interest only 30 years,
Can you
so
do that on a mortgage?
there's non-QM stuff that you can go interest only still for the first 10 years. So it'd be interest only payments for the first 10 years, and then after that it turns into a 20-year.
What's the
principal
rate
interest.
on that? Is the rate higher?
Yeah, if you go interest only, it's usually a quarter-ish higher. You know, there's a little bit of bump, but you'd save $300 a month. So same exact $400,000 loan, go interest only for the first 10 years, you're saving $300 a month.
Yeah,
If you
so
go
you buy it
50-year
for-
mortgage,
you buy it for $500, and you don't. Well, let's say you have a $500,000 loan. 5 years later, you're going to have a $500,000 loan because you're just going to pay the interest on it. Your hope is that the appreciation goes up, so you make money. But it's well. Remember years and years and years ago when we did a show on, remember San Francisco proper, where the average home sale was like $1.8 million or something in
Sure.
San Francisco proper, but the average income was like 180, and I was like, who the heck's making 180 buying $2 million houses all over? And then someone from San Francisco called and said, we're doing 50-year loans.
Or the other thing, do you remember negative amortization loans?
Yeah, oh gosh, I
We
remember
used to
them
do
well.
loans when I first started where your payment wouldn't even cover what was owed, so it grew.
You
The
could
balance
choose.
grew.
You could choose.
You could choose your
Negative,
payments,
interest only, or
15-year, 30.
Yes.
Because the market was going up so much. Obviously, it led to the crash. But
That was
negative
a-
am.
That was a product out of the 12th district, the Federal Reserve 12th district, San Francisco.
Really?
But all those scenarios kill the home equity market, don't the home equity line of credit market down. Because you're not going to have as
You're
much
not-
equity as you would.
You're not building equity,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Wow.
Well, and equity is good.
Yes.
absolutely.
We've covered that through the years too. Equity is
Deep thoughts. Here we go. We're going back live. Equity is good.
I'm gonna just say some words. You say if it's good or bad. Equity.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Hope you're having a great weekend and appreciate you joining in. I know for all you football fans, this is a big weekend, the wild card weekend. We got 6 big NFL games going on. That's a big one. A lot of people interested in that. And hey, we got to give a shout out, Scott, Mr. Joe Mack, awesome agent on the Minnesota real estate team, Remax Advantage Plus. He has one in Maple Grove, 8146 Balsam Lane North for $495. He's doing an open today, actually, from 11 to 1. It's 2018 built. It's got an open concept kitchen, stainless steel appliances, a massive kitchen center island. He says, cozy up to the fireplace on the chilly Minnesota winters, 3-bed, 4-bath. There's a small association fee of $160 a month. He said that covers lawn care, snow removal, and lawn care and snow removal. It's a great location, close to Arbor Lakes, restaurants, parks, and more. Be sure to check that out, 8146 Balsam Lane North in Maple Grove. And then one other note, I wanted to just give a shout out. Got a really nice message from Lindsay Coy. Lindsay was, she's a great agent on the team, and she was either at Home Depot or maybe it was Walmart, and ended up kind of befriending or talking to this gentleman in Walmart. And he ended up bringing up, she mentioned, the Minnesota real estate team. And he said, gosh, I listen to that show every weekend. And so want to give a special shout out to Lowell and Elaine Parsons from Lakeville. Lowell, thank you for listening to our show over all the years. He said he really enjoys listening to it. We're grateful for you listening. So yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to him. Thought that was, Lindsay's like, I can't believe it. This guy started talking to him and he said he really enjoys the Minnesota real estate show.
Well, you know what I like is I like when you're out to dinner somewhere and they say, oh, I listened to your real estate show on the weekend. We just bought our first house last week.
Yeah.
And they're like, thanks, we got a lot of good info. I'm like, yeah, enjoy that house. So we always do want to tell people we actually do sell homes for a living. Trust me, we're not getting paid to do the radio show. So if we can help you in any way, we are here to do that. And if we can, I'm just joking.
Yes.
By all means, use whoever you're using to buy your house. We're happy for you. But I do find that interesting. Oh, we listen to it every week, and we just bought our first house.
Yeah, Lowell and Elaine, thank you. Thanks for listening. Hey, Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance. A lot. I mean, again, we were talking about just the current state of the market, 2026. Insurance has upended things really for townhomes, the single family market. HO3 policies, HO6 policies, all these different discussions happen. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate you.
Yes, I haven't seen you guys since last year. Happy New Year to all
Yes, you
three of
too.
you. Yeah. Shout out to Lowell Parsons. That's where the Parsons Project came from. I was looking at some numbers here, and in 2021, the average home insurance cost was $2,000.
Okay.
And now it's up to $3,500. So at current interest rates, that difference in income is how much do they have to make more to qualify for the same home? Quick, Mike, quick. 70,000. Okay. All right. So
70,000.
I'm just making up a number. I don't know, but you are absolutely correct. The cost going up that much, almost doubling, if not doubling, is causing problems in the qualifying. Mike and his team, they expect the insurance to be a certain amount. And when that home has to be a little bit more, it can affect the qualifying.
Anything for existing homeowners, tips, Should you be calling your agent this time of year to say, look, we got to review it again. I don't like that replacement cost number. Looking at exemptions, anything people can do to save money.
No.
Really?
I was just gonna say, you remember when I first got here, I the first thing I said was, I want to make insurance sexy again, right?
Yeah.
And then the homeowners insurance industry started raising their rates, and so, I mean, you guys are all bringing up great news that rates are going down, affordability, people will be able to buy a home, and here I am with bad news that insurance is the projections are they're going to go up another 15% this year. So,
All carriers?
most all carriers. If they're a regional carrier, they may not have all of the others, but the weather here in Minnesota has gotten more severe. There's more hailstorms. There's more big rains that are causing water problems and all of that. So it's raising the rates here. And so we take a look at all that, take the risk. We look at what the premiums are that we got last year, what we need to raise to break even or get ahead, and go from there. So
You got anything else for us? I mean, geez.
I mean, my gosh, I want to start a warm bath and have some razor blades. That's like that. That's just
Yeah.
miserable news.
Credit scores affect insurance rates.
yes. Yep. Better the credit score, the better the rates. Yep.
So that's one thing you can do. Bundling, probably, right? Trying to get everything with one insurance agent.
Yeah, trying to. Yep.
Okay.
Some carriers do a lot better with homes, and they don't like cars, and some carriers do a lot better with cars and don't like homes. So it's one of those things where you what I've always said, I think I got it from Scott, is you want to marry the agent and date the carrier. Let the agent do the best thing it can for you.
So I just sent Brad a customer yesterday, a client that I'm working with in Sure Home, and I was just telling him on the ride up in the elevator, it's my first multi-generational sale. So my first client was her granddad, and sold them multiple homes, and then her father, and sold them multiple homes, and now this is the granddaughter or the daughter of. It's I'm like, you got to be in the business a long time to actually sell 3 generations of homes to people.
So to answer your question, the things that you can do is you can make sure that you're insuring your home for the right amount. Make sure that you have talked to your agent, because what happens is carriers raise the Schedule A coverage amount each year to make sure that you're covered because your home appreciates in value, right? And then look at your deductibles. Can you afford a higher deductible? Which in most cases, if you double your deductible, it can save you $600-700 a year. So that's a couple of things to look at.
Yeah, those are good ideas to, and I think just the importance, again, of who you're working with as an agent as well. Just crucial to have, again, an expert, someone who understands the market. We did have a question come in, Brad, about HO3 versus HO6 policies. Without getting too technical, what is that?
HO3 is a basic insurance program for a home, and HO6 is for like a townhome where you're just insuring from the studs in. HO3 covers the whole home for like major perils like fire and tornado and that kind of stuff.
We had a great training this week. Mike Overson, Luminate, Charity Mullenberg, a trademark title, came out and team came out to talk about HOAs, Mike. That was, I don't know. What did you think of that? So much helpful information.
Yeah, the HOA piece of real estate and financing in today's world is just, I mean, we could literally probably do 6 hours straight talking about all the different facets of that. I explained, like, buying a home that has an HOA now, a townhouse or a condo, is kind of like shopping at IKEA, right? You got to go through all these different departments, and it's, you don't know if you're going to find your way to the end, right? I also compared it to like chutes and ladders, right? You're going up to here, you might hit something and go up the ladder and it's easy. You might hit a chute somewhere along the way, and now you're all the way back to square one trying to find your way back up.
I'm tracking.
Yep. So anyway, yeah. So it's a different world in association, especially on the condo side of things with how financing is. And so if you are buying one of those properties, just know it's even more important to work with the right agent, right insurance agent, right loan officer, because that is a bit of trickier landscape in today's world.
And what the HOAs are doing right now is their premiums are increasing. And so they're trying to have their people that live in their buildings raise their loss assessment so that it helps them offset so they can have a higher deductible.
Yeah, any parents listening or younger folks, saying whatever, 40 and under, just our topic about waiting longer, maybe finding a partner, waiting longer, before you, if you do decide to make that decision of spending your life with that person, reasons, thoughts, feedback on that, what you're experiencing. As my dear father used to say, Scott, there's a lot of vocations in life. There's a lot, obviously, being single, all different types of vocations, but this is definitely an issue, and we see it. I know so many friends who have kids, in their 20s, 30s, living at home to save money.
Well, that was the other thing in this whole dating thing. The other part of it that I didn't mention is, and again, I might butcher these numbers a little bit, but it used to be the average, or the last time a kid was at home was 26 years old on average, where they actually were gone good for good. And now that's like 32. And so the combination of people aren't getting married, 35% of people below 40 have never been married. Most of the time they're not buying houses. It's mostly, a single person can definitely buy a house, but for the most part, they're not buying houses. So you put into that, you put into the affordability, you put into the fact that over the age of 45, those numbers even drop further, where people are not getting remarried. And it's affecting who's out there in the pool.
Rye, you meet our demographic here. What do you think about this? As you hear this, talk about it. Thoughts with your friends, people in this kind of age group.
I think Scott's numbers are totally on par. I mean, with my group of friends who are all in their early 30s mostly, I think just a few of them. I know we discussed it earlier. Like, one is married, and then the others, I think, let's say a dozen guys, I think maybe 2-3 year homeowners, and they're all in their 30s, and they're either living at home or renting. And I mean, it's just even younger people who I speak with, they find they have a sense of hopelessness as far as how is this even possible? How is it even possible to get started buying a home? And I mean, and you see the prices, the average home price, it's $410,000. I think people a 20-year-old sees that number and they think, no way.
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Yeah.
So that's an issue that certainly needs to be addressed. Otherwise, long issues down the road.
And we're on a radio station that is statewide. Ryan, are you over 6 foot and make the amount of money that
I am not over 6 feet, unfortunately. I don't have the Overson build. I wish I did, but it's something I can work towards. Thankfully, I am a homeowner and I have a lovely girlfriend, and we both work together to pay the mortgage, and so we're the marriage is that's the next step. We're kind of went out of order here.
Well, I don't date, but when I did date, I always just told the women, I said, look, I look good in heels. I really do. So yeah, I can get up to your height.
Oh man, Scott.
We had a radio show probably 5-6 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer, but we had a guest on the show that didn't know Scott or myself or Ryan. And we got done with the show and we stepped on the hall. We were going to get a picture together. And she made a comment of somewhere along the lines of, like, she thought I was Scott's son.
No, right? That was from a dating site.
Oh, that was okay.
It was from a dating site. And a woman I went on a date with, she said, "Is Mike Overson your son?" I'm like, first of all, Mike Overson's 10 years younger than me. And secondly, he's 6'4". No, he's not my son.
Oh man, we're up against our final break.
Mike's story better.
I better save the discussion here as people are thinking about changing the channel. Hey,
Remember what it was.
you know what? Every Saturday we're here. We welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. Literally wherever you're listening to this in Minnesota, Western Wisconsin, we've got a top agent on the Minnesota real estate team that'd be honored to help you and your family. Again, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show.
That's right.
That's so funny.
So you posted a picture of us
Yes, it was our
after
Yeah.
the radio show. We took a
Yes.
picture. You use that on one of your profile
Yes.
dating
A
sites.
profile picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she said,
Is that your son?
Is that your son? And I was like, yeah, that's my son.
You would have been a
So how
father
did you
at 10 years
reply?
old.
Yeah, I was been a father
you
when I was-
reply?
when I was 8. What's that?
How did you reply?
I said, no, dude. I said, he's 10 years younger than me and about 8 feet taller than me. So no, he's not my son.
So needless to say, you didn't wink at that person or do whatever the dating sites do, or
No, he still went out there.
No, yeah. I'm like,
oh
she's
man,
like, she's like, well, I'll still date you. Maybe some of that Mike-ish will rub off on you.
oh man, it is. Yeah, it's. I think it's an interesting concept. The one thing I was going to say is I think Ryan's point's a good one. I always say, people say, when should I buy real estate? During the year, should I time it? I still am a huge believer that whenever you can financially do it, buy something.
Get in
And
the game.
Yeah, just get in the game.
Get in the
I
game.
know that sounds crazy, but I've made the mistake of buying bad properties at bad times, busy streets, and over time, all of that gets washed away, and it's been very positive.
Yeah,
So-
we always say on the show, it's not when you buy, it's when you exit.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
there's going to be ebbs and flows in real estate. So what Ryan's saying is he bought the majority of his properties between 2003 and 2005. So if you could pinpoint probably the worst time to ever buy investment real estate,
Right.
those 2 years would have been the best time. But does it really matter?
The worst time. Yeah.
Worst time. I'm sorry. Worst time. Does it really matter? Because here you are, fast forward 30 years later. They cash flow then. They cash flow now. And if you don't have to exit, it doesn't make a difference.
Brad, you had a lot of good news for us today.
I knew I was going to have bad news, so I do have a fun exercise.
Oh, you do?
Yep. What is the
Okay.
most desired amenities in a home
Oh.
for buyers?
Good. We're going to dive into that here too.
No cheating, Bill.
It is interesting. Again, time of year. I always think about people like when should I sell or when should I list my home again? We have less than 8,000 homes on the market right
Wow.
now. There's a lot. Every day I get 6 emails, a buyer need email. They can't find anything for sale.
Is that historically the lowest?
I don't know if it's I'll have to look at that. It's low.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
low. Yeah. I mean, Scott, we remember some years 40,000
Yeah,
homes.
I think three or 4 years ago we hit like 4,800 homes.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
just-
crazy.
Well, even almost 40,000 homes on the
that
other
was
end.
that was 2005 to 2006.
Yeah. So that's some adjustment. Here we go. We're going back. Our final
It
segment.
was more than 40.
Thanks for joining in.
43.
Yeah. We got 42 and some change or 43.
Wow. I know it's less than 8.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you joining us. Hope you all are having a great weekend. And Brad Sanford, you got kind of a fun exercise for us. Talk a little bit about what you were thinking.
I was thinking because I have such bad news with insurance and it not getting better, that I have a little quiz here about what are the top 3 amenities that homeowners look for when they're buying a home.
Top 3 amenities. Mike, what do you think, bud? You have something in mind?
I'm thinking linoleum flooring.
That's number 1.
It's number 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Top 3 amenities.
Now let's see here. I got to think about this a little bit. Top 3 amenities.
I would probably say it would probably go kitchen to master bedroom to
Take your time,
No,
Scott.
those
That's
two.
okay.
I can't think of the third one.
Kitchen is number 6.
Okay.
Kitchen is number 6. Top 3 amenities. I'm just thinking of them. Like,
Okay, that's different.
I don't know. It's hard. It's funny. How about a fireplace? Is that on there?
You could consider that number
It's
2.
not on there.
I
was- yeah.
Feel good. It's not on there.
Hey, don't interrupt me. Sucking
I'm
up
trying
there.
to throw a different thought there.
Energy efficiency and sustainability is number 2.
Whoa!
Yes, it is.
There it is.
Yep.
I have
Energy
never
efficiency.
taken a buyer out. I have never taken a buyer out where they go, look, dude, I like the kitchen and the master, but it really is the energy affordability is my top choice. Where did you get
Yeah, where'd you get this? Where's the list from here? Hey,
But-
what are
but-
the 3 things for everybody?
Okay, yeah, no, stop guessing, right? The laundry room on the main floor or close to
I was
you.
Upstairs,
Yep,
yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely is number
Okay.
1. Number 3 is the outdoor living area.
Ah.
And number 4, which I would have put at 3, is flexible living areas, which is what you were talking about. Yeah, absolutely. So,
Okay. Yeah,
That's interesting.
it is interesting. It's not as common where you would think it'd be more common with energy efficiency. I have some friends, some neighbors who are, have solar panels that are doing the solar panel thing. It's rarer though, Scott, where people will say that buyers will say, hey boy, this is really what I want,
Yeah, well, and just for solar panels out there, folks, and I'm not, if you have solar panels, all the power to you. But if you spend $70,000 on solar panels for your house, you get zero money for that. It is, it's, and you're going to disagree with me. That can't be the case. You save $400 a month in energy. I'm telling you right now, I have talked to lenders. I have talked to appraisers. It is a cool thing to have. It's like having really nice landscaping, but you're not getting a return on that investment.
Do you think the energy efficiency part is something you can't really control up front, but you can, once you buy the house, then you can address that, right?
I
You can
think-
do LEDs, you could do a more efficient furnace. Like, is that something you can make a house after you buy it?
I don't really know what they're referring to. I guess I immediately think in terms of overall windows, overall R factors, that kind of thing. I think
The main thing was to affect the utility bills that they have to pay.
Okay.
Fireplaces.
fire.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I don't do it a lot, but I do think there's some value with from the solar panels. I think it's finding a similar type of buyer that's going to find that value. That pool, I think what Scott's referring to is not huge from a solar standpoint, but I think it is appealing, especially with costs. If you're saving $200-$400
All right,
bucks a month.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, sure.
Let me ask you this one. So we're in a neighborhood. You got the exact same house on the neighborhood. They're identical.
Yes.
Same colors, same finishing level, exact same backyard. This one's 800. This one's 850. The one that's 850 has solar panels.
Sure.
Which one do you buy?
Yeah, the 800 one.
Yeah.
Definitely. And maybe it's kind of like all improvements. It's like when you put whatever the money into the home improvement project and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't my value go up? That's where it is important. Why we've got a lot of great partners to help you analyze. Okay, if you're going to sell this, what are you going to get in return? Now, there's an enjoyment thing. I think for people with solar, they're like, hey, I'm saving $400. But I think your point's a good one that it's just something to consider on resale, guys.
You also have to insure those solar panels, which costs more also.
Correct.
So,
How much?
And whenever you get my thing in real estate is whenever you get to something that is misunderstood, it's hard to get value out of that because most people aren't into solar panels. So you've already shrunk the market. For the ones that are in, they don't want to pay for the solar panels. They want the advantage of getting them. So again, it's like it's an advantage because some people will be like, oh, that's cool. I saved that money. But they're not going to be paying an extraordinary more amount for the house, is all I'm saying.
Mike, take us home here. We just got a few more minutes at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Again, Luminate Bank is a local bank. You guys have a great savings program too, as well, for people that I know you got a lot of friends, family, different people using your savings program at the banks.
Absolutely. So we have a savings right now paying out 3.5% APY. Our checking account pays out 2% APY. We also have a new program that literally just rolled out at the first of the year. If you are getting a loan with us and you open up an account with us, checking or savings account, and you deposit $2,500 in there, we'll give you $400 off your closing costs. If you open up an account with us and put in $100,000 or more into that account, we'll give you $1,000 off your closing costs. So that's something that's new that rolled out that you'll be seeing out there, but it's just another way for us to help you lower your costs, your closing costs on a home loan. And it's as simple as just opening up a checking account or saving account with us and putting $2,500 in there. We'll give you $400 off.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, there's a reason, again, that we work with Mike and his team, especially in a competitive market coming up this spring. If you are going to be buying, you've got a family member buying, really working with a knowledgeable local lender that with competitive products, Mike, there's a reason we've aligned with you guys.
Yeah, we're we're that small town bank feel right in the middle of Minneapolis. Our corporate office is right off of 394 in Penn. The owners are from Minnesota. Our corporate office is in Minnesota. We're Minnesota based. So reach out to us if we can help out. We'd love to do it.
Well, it all boils down to one thing. I've been doing this for 30 years. Mike has been my lender for 25 of those 30 years probably. And I'm no easy customer. I mean,
Yeah, you
It's
are
gonna-
not,
it's
Scott.
It's going to close on time. They're going to get real numbers. It's going to be organized. They're going to feel fluffy when they get to the closing table. And that's what Mike delivers. And that's what he should deliver. And the service is great. And that's why we use them, is because at the end of the day, it's done correct.
So one thing I will say is that I can't predict the future, but I can predict the future of what's going to happen this spring in the real estate market,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Scott and I both know what we're talking about. With 7,900 homes on the market right now, that's going to dip below 7,000 by the time February 1st gets here. Interest rates are going to come down with the news from Trump here as far as mortgage-backed securities. We're not going to be back to COVID, but we're going to be back to probably 50 to 75% of what COVID was, meaning that you're going to be paying more for the house. There's going to be more buyers out there. There's going to be more competition. So I truly believe the sooner you can get into the game, the better off you're going to be as a buyer in this market.
And if you want to increase the housing market, start dating guys that are 5'10".
Scott.
It'll explode.
Hey, Brad, last thoughts, buddy.
You know, we came out with a program too. We insure homes and townhomes and condos and all of that. So you can reach me at the Minnesota Real Estate Team.com, realestateshow.com, both of those, or you can give me a call at 651-690-2076.
Nice job, Scott. Good show today.
You too, my friend.
Good job, Brad, Mike. A big thanks. And again, want to give a shout out to all of our listeners throughout the week. Please don't hesitate to reach out. If you're curious about home value, you can go to mnrealestateshow.com, fill out the free market analysis. You don't even have to meet with an agent. You're just wondering about values in this current market. That's always a good spot to start. And next week, Friday, we've got our big team party, our annual Minnesota Real Estate Team Party. Give out a lot of great awards. It's going to be a fun time, Scott. We got appetizers, hearty appetizers, drinks. We're going to have a little fun, celebrate a lot of hardworking people.
Yep, it'll be fun. Everybody on the team will be there. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, you sounded excited there.
You know how I like event parties.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Enjoy this weekend. Thanks again to Ryan Perpich, and have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Thanks, everybody on social media. It was a good one. Brad, nice job, buddy.
Thanks. Good to be here.
You need to come more often.
Yeah, did not know you guys were family. That was interesting.
I
Very good.
don't remember that. She
What?
asked if that Mike was your son.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was-
It's like your son.
Send all your business to your son for the last 25
Exactly.
years.
Yep. I can only imagine how you reacted.
I was like, whatever.
You were very thoughtful
Yes,
about your
so.
response.
Is it a compliment to him or
Yes.
is she really old?
I think she thought I was really old.
Yeah. Hey, great show, everybody. We'll be back again next week. Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy football weekend. It's a big football weekend. Take care. We'll see you soon.